Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining me today for our demo of the Vertical Response social tool. My name is Jill, and I'm going to take you through some of the things you can do with this tool today. Just a couple things before we get started. First of all, this demo will probably be around 20 minutes or so, and at the end, there will be time for Q&A. So if you do think of questions along the way, go ahead and type those into the box that you see in your GoToWebinar window, and I'll be happy to answer as many of those questions as I can. So let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, hopefully you've all noticed this, that there is now a tab in the blue navigation bar that says Social, and this is going to take you to the VR Social tool. The first time you click on this, there's going to be a screen that comes up where you need to enter a little bit of information. You need to select your industry that your company or organization falls into, and then pick some general interests. And you can change those at a later date, but I'm going to show you why it's important that you select those. Once you've done that, you'll be able to enter in the networks that you belong to. You can see here in the top right-hand corner, I have Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn set up for me. But you can set up whatever social media platforms that you would like to use. Let's go take a look at that. So when you log in for the first time, you'll be able to set up your different social media platforms that you're on. And you can click a button and add them in there. So you can add your profile for your Facebook account as well as the page for your business. So you can have both of those in there. You can also use Twitter and LinkedIn as well, and I have both of those up here as well. And you can edit these as you need to. If you add a new account or if you change something, you can come in here and make edits to these. So once you've set that up, you'll be able to start posting. And one of the great things about using a tool like this is that you're going to be able to create posts to your Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn accounts from this one application. You can schedule when you want them to go out, or you could create a campaign where you can have multiple posts go out. And then our system will help you in scheduling. We even have content ideas for you, which is where putting in your industry is important. So let's go ahead and take a look at how to set up a post. So first of all, there's two options over here, single post and campaign. So a single post is if you wanted to post anything. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. And you can post to whatever, I'm going to go ahead and do this to my Facebook page. You can post to whatever social media platforms you want. You can select one, you can select all. It's entirely up to you. Go ahead and click Next Step, and you can schedule when you want this to go out. You can have it go out now, or you can schedule it to go out sometime in advance. You can schedule up to 30 days in advance with this tool and schedule when you want it to go out. And then you get to select your post type. Ultimately, of course, all of these are going to be a post that shows up on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. But we break them down into different types of posts to help give a mix to what you're adding in your social media. So you can do links, and this is where we have a content library. So you can use your own link, paste in a link from some other resource that you want to use and share with people on social media. But our suggestions are here, and we have this library of different links that you can use. This is where your industry comes into play, because we're going to pull in information from around the web with information that goes with whatever industry you've selected. So for my account, I'm set up as a nonprofit, and it pulls in from these different places around the web. You can also select general interests, and you can even add your own information in here as well, and I'll show you how to add and edit all of these in just a minute. But it does make it easy for you to find information. You can click on these links, and it'll pop up in the story, so you can take a look at the story, make sure it's something that you actually want to share, and then you can go back to your VR account. So it opens up in a separate separate window. It was a blog I was looking at. So if you want to go ahead and use this for your link, our system will pull that in there, and you still have space to add comments. So you can say, I totally agree with what this article is saying, or you could say something like, what do you guys think about this type of information, or something like that, so that you can get the people following you on social media to interact with your posts so that they keep coming to you for this type of information. You can give this a name. You could call this post a campaign so that you can track it. So I'm going to go ahead and call this June 25th, but you can call it anything you want. You can also use something that already exists if you've already set up names. You also have the option of selecting something like a question, and you would just post a question. So again, these are just posts. We've broken them down into different types. It doesn't update in any way that would be different from any of the other ones. It's still going to post on Facebook, on your wall, or on LinkedIn, or on Twitter. It's just a different type of post. You can do a status update where you just say something. It's not specifically a question or a link. Again, it's up to you. You can post a quote, and again, we do have a content library for this, and you can pull in these different quotes, and they're in some different categories over here to pull in your quotes. You could post a photo. Again, people really like to interact with photos, especially on Facebook, and it is part of Facebook's algorithm that helps get your post to the top when people are looking at their feed. So if you're posting things like images and videos and links and things like that, the things that people can interact with that can help get more engagement on your posts and pull your information up to the top so people can see your post. So you have a couple options. You can upload it from your computer. You can pull it in from your Facebook account. So if you have an image stored on Facebook, you can pull it in here. And if it's hosted somewhere, you can paste in a URL. And we're not going to go over my circle right now, but if you have something set up, so I'm going to go ahead and use my link one. Oops, I guess that got canceled. And go ahead and click next step, and then click post. So this is a single post. You'll have one post, and it will go out whenever you have it scheduled to go out. So here is my scheduled post that I just created, Google at Rio plus 20. I have another post from a campaign that's scheduled to go out at 4 o'clock today. Now, a campaign gives you the option of creating multiple posts over a period of time. So let's go take a look at a campaign. So let's click on the blue button there. Again, you have the same option of where you want this to post to. With the campaign, the thing to keep in mind is on this step, as soon as you select where you want this to update, it's going to impact the whole campaign. So where a single post you could select to go to just one of your social platforms, a campaign, however many posts you choose to do, will go to all of these. You can't select certain posts in a campaign to go to one platform. It will go to all of them. So just keep that in mind when you're setting up a campaign. So here you can select how long you want your campaign to run. And also if you want to include weekends or not. So if this is something that's really more for business, you can select it to not include weekends, so it's only posting on work days. And then you can select how long you want your campaign to run. So let's say I want it to run for 10 days. You can select when you want it to start and when you want your post to be scheduled. So between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. is when mine are going to be scheduled, but you can select whatever times you want it. Go ahead and go to the next step, and here you can give your campaign a name. So by default, we're just going to call it the length of the date that your campaign is scheduled for, but you can call it anything you want, just so you can keep track of the different posts and what a campaign they're associated with. I'm going to go ahead and click next step, and just like the single post, I have the same options here: links, questions, status updates, quotes. But with this one, I have 8 recommended posts in 10 days. So our system suggests doing this: 2 links, 2 questions, 3 status updates, 1 quote. But you can manage this however you want, and you can add something else if you like as well. So again, I can come in here and select information that I want to post. Wow, these aren't very happy. I can select the post that I want to use. I can, again, add a comment in here if I would like. so that I can have people read the article and think about maybe something specific in there that's related to my industry or my company. And then I can save that particular one. I can add another link in here. Maybe I'll find something a little less depressing. There we go. And again, you can have this. Now, again, we're suggesting 2 links. You can do more if you want to. If you find that your followers engage better with links, feel free to add more. This is just a suggestion of how to break up your different posts that you're going to do for your campaign, but you can change it however you want. You can add a question in here, and we do have kind of some suggestions in here. Maybe that's something that my followers will find really engaging. But you can add, again, additional questions by clicking on this button. You can have a status update. Again, all of these are going to update in the same place. We've just broken them down into different types. So the status update would just be a comment that you have to say on your Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. Again, the quotes, whoops, I don't want that one. Quotes, we also have a library for you to select from, so you don't have to think of everything. So let's see here. We'll find something funny since I only had serious things going on in there. And I could select a quote if I want to share that on my Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. So again, once you go through all of these, you can add a photo if you want to. This particular campaign didn't recommend one specifically, but I would definitely encourage you to share photos if you have something like that coming up. Or if you have an event and you've taken pictures, or you have a new product that comes out that you want to share, you can do a single post and still have your campaign running at the same time. If posts are going to overlap, our system will let you know that you're scheduling too close to another post. Otherwise, you can manage a campaign and then have single posts along the way if there's something that comes up that you want to add into your social media. So I can click post. I didn't fill in all of the things that were recommended, but it still lets me go on and do that. So from here, after you do a post, it moves you into the My Post page. We have that right here. And this is the view that you've seen a couple times when I've come back to this page, but this is a slightly different version. So there are actually 2 ways here for you to see what's coming up in your posts. So this is the calendar view. That might be obvious. It's a calendar that we're looking at. And here are some posts that are going out. My campaign goes on for a while, and so it's going to go on into July as well. So you can see I have some posts here. The nice thing about the calendar view is if you don't like when something is scheduled to go out, you can move it. You can just drag it and change where you want it to go. So maybe I want this one to go over here. So you can still have ultimate control over when your posts are going to go out, and if you need to change anything because you have another post that you need to get out right away. So you can just drag and drop from the calendar view. If you click on the list view, this is going to show you the actual posts that have gone out and then are going to go out. So let's try to sort this here. So these are my posts that are scheduled to go out, but they haven't gone out yet. You can see when they're scheduled to go. So this one is a question, and you can tell because it has the same little icons in the top left corner that it has when you're setting up your posts. And if I wanted to edit this, I can do that. Now with the links, if you need to change a link, you can't just go in and change the link itself. You'd actually have to delete this post and then add in a new one. But you can edit any text that you have in there. So these are all the things that are scheduled to go out in the future. But if I sort by oldest, we can see some of my posts that have gone out already. So besides allowing you to manage numerous posts so that you can have a campaign and have things going out without having to be posting on the go all the time, the other nice thing about this tool is we give you reporting about your posts. So we can't specifically tell you if people like the post that you have, but what we can do is manage the engagement. So people who are clicking like, people who are commenting. So we can give you that type of information. So if you look in the top right-hand corner, you'll see the score. It'll tell you how many engagements your post got, so that means comments and likes and things like that. And then we give you a rating. So you can see here, I didn't have a lot of engagement, so I got a 1.3, but it was an odd post. I made people comment, so I had information here. So you can also see the more engagements you get, the better your score is going to be here. And there's a little bit of information about this. And then further down here, you can see the different engagements. So I had 3 likes, 2 comments, and 2 clicks. So 2 people went and clicked on this story that I shared. Plus, the nice thing about this is any of the comments, so I had 2 comments, and I can actually respond to the comments through here. I don't have to now go into Facebook or Twitter or wherever people were commenting. This one was Facebook. You can tell because it's this tab right here. I can just come in here to my VR account and I can write a comment to this. And share that with people on Facebook. This was Facebook. And these are all the different tabs for the other social platforms that I used. I didn't have any engagement from my pretend company, which is good. Nobody's following me, but that's my company page. Nothing was retweeted on Twitter and nothing on LinkedIn. But my Facebook profile page had a lot of comments. And so you can easily answer anyone's questions or comments or anything like that through here. And you can find that out by these little red dots. So now on this one, I don't have a little red dot because I've answered any questions or comments that's come up. But this one I haven't. There's still a comment that I haven't responded to or a comment that I haven't read. So the little red dot will tell you how many comments there are that you haven't responded to yet. And now that I've responded to this one, if somebody replies again, I'll get another red dot to let me know there's been a new reply to that. So we give you a little bit of information about what's going on there. Again, I have different engagement levels for different things. This one was by far more popular. It has a higher score. So that's one of the ways you can see how people are, or what people are interested in on your social platforms. And you can continue to give them the things that they're most interested in. On the left-hand side over here gives you the ability to filter the information that you see over here. So you can set up a time frame. So you can see, so this is for the month of June. I can see all of the posts that I've done in the month of June. And then I can start filtering them. So right now, what we're looking at over here are ones that I've scheduled to go out. Remember, we saw the ones that are going to be going out later today. Or the sent ones. So I have both of them up here. Here's my sent, and then the other ones are down there. But I can turn off certain ones. So now I only have the ones that are scheduled to go but haven't actually gone. So if I want to come in here and see if there's something I need to change, I can easily do that without seeing the ones that were already sent. That might cause myself some confusion or something. Or the other way around, if I only want to see the sent ones, make sure I've answered any questions that has come up. That makes it a lot easier to do that. You can also sort by campaign. So as I said, by giving the campaign a name, it makes it easier to track which of the posts are with each one. So if I turn off the ones from today, I'm not going to see any of my posts that I've scheduled, or the ones that, there we go, that was the one that's gone out. So that's the one that I had set up last week, so you guys could see some comments and some posts. But I can turn that one back on if I want to. Again, you can also sort by the type. So if you only want to see the posts that have links in them, you can do that, or questions or quotes, whatever you have. And then also destination. So if I only want to see things that posted to my personal Facebook profile, I can do that. If I only want to see the things that were tweeted or went to LinkedIn, I can do that as well. So you can change the filters over here, which changes what you're looking at over here. So it makes it a little easier for you to find the information you might be looking for. So the other thing to show you in here is sources. So under sources, this is where you can set up your industry. So when you first click on the social tab, if you've never been there before, we'll ask you to select your industry and some general interests. And that's how we pull in the content library links so that you can use those different posts from around the internet so that your recipients will find something that's interesting in your industry. But you can change the industry that you're in from here. So there's a long list of stuff. So try to get something close to what it is that you do. And then we'll pull in things that go with it. Vertical Response small business blog will get pulled in sometimes depending on what your industry is. So you can also share things from our blog. But if you have your own blog, you can add your own blog as one of the sources. So all you have to do is click on this add a feed, paste in the URL for your blog, or if it's a blog that you like to read a lot and you want to share that information with your followers, you can also add that in there and then save it. And then when you go to pull in a link for your post, you're automatically going to see the blog that you've added in there. So you can add your own feeds if there's something specific that you want. And you can take some of these out too if you don't want some of these in there as well. And then down here, these are the different interests. And this is where we can pull in some specific information as well for the links and things that you can use. So this just has general interest. That one's turned on. And it's just a little toggle. I can just turn this on or off. And then you can pull out any of these things that you may or may not want in there and add, again, your own feed that you might want. So this way you can have that content library, pull in information that's specific to what your industry or organization does, as well as things that your recipients are more interested in getting from you. So there's a lot of things to select from. So you can come in here at any time and add a new feed. You can add a new interest, whatever it is that you want to do, so that when you go to do your post, that information gets pulled right in. And then here we are back at the My Posts. So under settings, you can just change a couple of things. I didn't show you this one. So you can add your social networks in here and some notifications if you want to set up some notifications. But sources is where you can set up your blogs and the links from things around the web so that it gets pulled in for your posting. So there you go. That's kind of an overview of using the VR Social.